Good morning, afternoon, evening, everyone. Today, I want to challenge the way we think about commitment. We live in a world that often encourages us to have a backup plan, a safety net, a way out in case things don't go as expected. But what if I told you that having a plan B might actually be holding you back from achieving greatness? The most successful people, the true game changers, don't leave room for doubt. They don't waste energy on exit strategies. Instead, they go all in. They commit fully, knowing that true success comes not from having an escape route, but from having an unshakable belief in their mission. Simon Sinek once said, "Working hard for something we don't care about is called stress. Working hard for something we love is called passion. When we remove the option of retreat, we allow passion to drive us forward." And that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. Why having no plan B isn't reckless, but rather the ultimate key to unlocking your full potential. Sure. Here's an expanded version of your first keynote, Burn the Boats. In 700 words, history is filled with examples of individuals who achieved extraordinary success because they removed any possibility of retreat. The phrase "burn the boats" originates from the legendary story of Hernán Cortés, the Spanish conquistador who, upon arriving in the New World, ordered his men to burn their ships. With no way to escape, his soldiers had only one option: move forward and succeed. Whether or not this story is historically accurate, the lesson it teaches is undeniably powerful. When you eliminate the possibility of going back, you unlock a level of determination, resilience, and focus that otherwise remains dormant. In modern times, the principle of burning the boats is not about reckless decision-making, but about unwavering commitment. Too often, people keep a safety net in place, believing it will provide security. They hold on to jobs they don't love, relationships they've outgrown, or ideas they never fully pursue. They convince themselves that having an escape route is wise, but in reality, it often becomes an excuse to avoid fully investing in their dreams. When failure is an option, the mind will always find ways to justify retreat. But when you remove the option of turning back, your brain focuses entirely on finding solutions rather than exit strategies. Take the example of entrepreneurs who have risked everything to build their companies. Some of the most successful business leaders didn't just dip their toes into their ventures. They jumped in headfirst, with no guarantee of success. Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon, left a high-paying job on Wall Street to start an online bookstore in his garage. He had no guarantee it would work, but he made a conscious decision to go all in. Had he kept a fallback career or continued working in finance just in case, he might never have built the global empire that Amazon is today. By eliminating his escape plan, he forced himself to make it work. Athletes also embody this mindset. Muhammad Ali, one of the greatest boxers of all time, didn't step into the ring thinking, "If this doesn't work out, I have another option." He committed fully to his training, his vision, and his belief that he was the greatest. That level of confidence and commitment is what allowed him to push through grueling workouts, exhausting fights, and even personal setbacks. He never gave himself an easy way out. That's what separated him from the rest. When you commit with no backup plan, something extraordinary happens. Your mind sharpens, your resilience strengthens. You push through obstacles that would have otherwise made you quit. Think about the difference between someone learning to swim with a life jacket and someone thrown into deep water with no way out. The person with the life jacket knows they can float, so they never fully engage in learning how to swim. The one without a safety device has no choice but to figure it out. The brain goes into survival mode, and suddenly, instincts kick in that might have otherwise remained dormant. Fear is one of the biggest reasons people hesitate to burn their boats. The fear of failure, rejection, or uncertainty makes them believe that having a way out is a good idea. But what most people don't realize is that fear thrives in hesitation. The more you hesitate, the stronger fear becomes. The more you debate whether or not to commit, the more doubt creeps in. But when you remove the option of retreat, you take away the power of fear. You stop negotiating with yourself. You stop entertaining thoughts of what might happen if things don't work out, and instead you focus entirely on making them work. Committing without a backup plan doesn't mean being reckless. It means being resourceful. It forces you to use every ounce of creativity, effort, and determination you have. It means you will find a way no matter what. Elon Musk once said, when something is important enough, you do it even if the odds are not in your favor. Instead, Musk put his last remaining funds into Tesla and SpaceX when both companies were on the verge of collapse. He had no safety net, no plan B, and no easy exit. Because of that, he fought harder, worked smarter, and pushed beyond what seemed possible. Today, both companies are industry leaders because of his willingness to go all in. This mindset applies to every area of life. Whether you're pursuing a dream career, building a business, committing to a relationship, or striving for a personal goal, you have to ask yourself, are you leaving the door open for an easy escape? Are you secretly holding on to a plan B because you don't fully trust yourself to succeed? If so, you might be unintentionally limiting your potential. The moment you remove your exit strategy, your focus intensifies. You stop wasting energy on what could go wrong and start channeling it into making things go right. Too many people fail, not because they lack talent or opportunity, but because they never fully commit. They leave one foot in and one foot out, thinking they're playing it safe, but in reality, they're sabotaging their success. The moment things get tough, they retreat to their backup plan. But when you have no way back, you push through challenges with a different level of determination. You dig deeper, work harder, and innovate in ways you never would if you had an escape route. Fear is one of the most powerful forces that shape human behavior. It dictates the decisions we make, the risks we take, and the level of effort we put into our pursuits. When given an option, the mind tends to default to the safest path, the one with the least resistance, the least pain, and the least uncertainty. This is why people hesitate to fully commit to something. They feel the need for a backup plan, a safety net, an alternative route in case things don't work out. But what they don't realize is that this very act of keeping options open creates doubt, fosters hesitation, and ultimately weakens commitment. When a person has multiple options, they begin to weigh their choices constantly. Instead of pouring all their energy into making their primary goal work, they split their focus between their main pursuit and their backup plan. This divided attention weakens their ability to persist when challenges arise. Doubt creeps in, and instead of pushing through, they start considering the what-ifsy of their backup plan. The mind, instead of working tirelessly to find solutions, starts searching for an exit. Having a way out might seem like a rational and responsible decision, but in reality, it can be the very thing that keeps a person from succeeding. Confidence, on the other hand, follows commitment. When there is no backup plan, the mind has no choice but to believe in the path ahead. This belief creates a shift in perspective. Instead of fearing failure, the person starts to see obstacles as challenges that must be overcome. They become more creative, more determined, and more resilient. They develop a mindset that refuses to entertain failure because they know there is no alternative. This is the mindset of champions, of successful entrepreneurs, of world-class performers. They don't achieve greatness because they are inherently more talented. They achieve it because they refuse to allow doubt and fear to dictate their decisions. Think about a tightrope walker crossing between two buildings. If there is a safety net below, their mind knows that if they fall, they will be caught. While this seems like a good precaution, it also allows for hesitation. They might second-guess their steps. They might not fully trust their instincts. But if there is no safety net, they have no choice but to focus with absolute precision. Every step becomes deliberate. Every movement is made with purpose. The lack of an alternative forces complete commitment, and with that commitment comes a heightened sense of confidence. The same principle applies in business, sports, and personal growth. Some of the greatest entrepreneurs in history did not operate with a plan B. They bet everything on their vision. Steve Jobs did not keep a backup career when he launched Apple. He was all in. His complete commitment led him to push boundaries, to innovate fearlessly, and to change the world. If he had entertained an alternative career path, he might have pulled back when Apple faced challenges. But instead, his unwavering belief in his mission allowed him to persist through failures, rejections, and setbacks. That level of commitment built the foundation for one of the most influential companies of all time. Athletes demonstrate this principle in their training and competition. When an athlete competes with the mindset that they have another option if they don't win, they lack the same level of intensity as someone who believes that winning is their only choice. The difference between an Olympic gold medalist and the athlete who places fourth is often not talent but mindset. The one who commits fully, who refuses to see failure as an option, is the one who finds a way to win. They train harder, they endure more pain, and they push through moments when others quit. This concept also applies to relationships and personal growth. When people enter relationships with one foot in and one foot out, always entertaining the possibility of leaving if things get tough, they never fully invest in making the relationship work. Their mind remains divided, and instead of finding solutions, they start considering exits. But when two people commit fully without an escape route, they find ways to grow together. They fight through challenges rather than running from them. They build something lasting because they remove the option of giving up. Fear and doubt thrive when options exist. The human mind loves to play it safe. It will always gravitate toward the path of least resistance if given the chance. That's why so many people live unfulfilled lives. They never commit to their true passions because they are too busy holding on to backup plans. They stay in unfulfilling jobs, never starting the business they dream of because they tell themselves they need the stability. They never take the leap, and as a result, they never discover what they are truly capable of achieving. True confidence comes from knowing that there is no way out. It is the unwavering belief that success is the only option. When a person commits at that level, something incredible happens. They stop making excuses. They stop hesitating. They develop a tunnel vision that locks onto their goal and refuses to let go. They become problem solvers instead of excuse makers. They become relentless instead of passive. They unlock a version of themselves they never knew existed. The greatest leaders, athletes, and innovators in history have all demonstrated this mindset. They don't entertain failure. They don't keep backup plans. They operate with a level of certainty that allows them to move forward with complete focus. Their success is not an accident. It is the result of making a decision to commit fully and eliminating the distractions of alternative paths. Passion is one of the most powerful forces in human achievement. It is the driving factor that pushes people to work tirelessly, overcome obstacles, and stay committed even when things get difficult. Yet, so many people trade their passion for safety. They choose security over fulfillment, comfort over growth, and predictability over possibility. They convince themselves that it is better to take the safe route rather than risk failure in pursuit of something they truly love. But the truth is, the people who achieve greatness are the ones who prioritize passion over safety. They understand that real success is not about avoiding risk, but about fully committing to what sets their soul on fire. The problem with choosing safety is that it often leads to regret. People stay in jobs they don't love because they are afraid of financial insecurity. They avoid starting their own businesses because they fear failure. They settle for relationships that don't fulfill them because they are afraid of being alone. They tell themselves they are being practical, but in reality, they are allowing fear to dictate their lives. Years later, they look back and wonder what could have been if they had chosen to follow their passion instead of playing it safe. They see others living their dreams and realize that the only thing separating them from those people was the willingness to take a risk. Passion provides a level of motivation that safety never can. When someone is passionate about their work, they don't need external motivation to push them forward. They wake up excited to do what they love. They put in extra hours, not because they have to, but because they want to. They find joy in the process, even when it is difficult. When someone chooses safety over passion, they may feel secure, but they often lack fulfillment. They count the hours until the workday is over. They live for the weekends. They do the minimum required to get by, never pushing themselves beyond what is necessary. Safety may provide stability, but it rarely leads to greatness. The most successful people in the world are the ones who refuse to let fear dictate their choices. They chose passion over safety, even when it meant taking risks. Oprah Winfrey could have stayed in local news, but she pursued her passion for connecting with people on a deeper level. Walt Disney faced bankruptcy and rejection multiple times, but he refused to settle for a safe career path. Elon Musk invested every penny he had into Tesla and SpaceX, knowing that failure was a real possibility, but he believed in his vision so much that he was willing to take the risk. None of these people had guarantees. They did not know for certain that they would succeed. But they followed their passion with unwavering commitment, and that made all the difference. Choosing passion over safety does not mean being reckless. It does not mean quitting a job without a plan or taking unnecessary risks. It means having the courage to pursue what truly matters even when it feels uncertain. It means believing in oneself enough to take the first step, even when the full path is unclear. It means being willing to endure temporary discomfort in exchange for long-term fulfillment. People who choose passion understand that success is not immediate. They know there will be setbacks, failures, and moments of doubt. But because they love what they do, they push through those challenges instead of retreating to safety. One of the biggest reasons people choose safety over passion is the fear of failure. They believe that if they take a risk and it doesn't work out, they will be worse off than if they had never tried. But what they fail to realize is that failure is not the opposite of success. It is a part of success. Every great leader, innovator, and creator has experienced failure along the way. The difference is that they did not let failure stop them. They learned from it, adjusted, and kept going. The pain of temporary failure is far less than the pain of lifelong regret. Passion also brings out the best version of a person. When someone is engaged in work they love, they perform at a higher level. They are more creative, more resilient, and more willing to go the extra mile. Passion fuels perseverance. It gives people the energy to keep going when others would quit. When someone chooses safety over passion, they often find themselves stuck in a cycle of mediocrity. They do just enough to get by, but they never push themselves to reach their full potential. Over time, this leads to frustration, boredom, and a feeling of being unfulfilled. People who follow their passion inspire others to do the same. They show what is possible when someone fully commits to their dreams. They remind others that life is too short to settle for anything less than what truly excites them. They become role models for those who are too afraid to take the leap themselves. When someone chooses safety, they blend in. When someone chooses passion, they stand out. They create something unique. They leave a legacy. The biggest breakthroughs in history were made by people who prioritized passion over safety. The greatest works of art, the most innovative companies, and the most inspiring movements were all led by people who refused to play it safe. They understood that the path to greatness is never risk-free. But they also understood that the risk of playing it safe, of never trying, never pushing, never fully committing, is far greater. They knew that choosing passion over safety was not just a decision, it was a necessity.